There is this one bird, generally called scarab juice, in our skies. It is a red B star, and on the off chance that you some way or another ended up placing it in a comparative region as the Sun, it would grow well past the circle of Jupiter. It is colossal, extraordinarily touchy, and almost exploding. Plan for a pompous disaster on a scale that has never been seen. Cosmologists have found something fundamentally upsetting about this monstrous thing in space. By utilizing the James Webb Space Telescope, a remarkable scientist by the name of Brian Cox has given an extreme counsel. The red Goliath star, which is arranged on the limit of our framework, is passing frightening markers on through space. The direct that go on toward come up is whether we will notice a vast blast impact that will be so massive it would change the night sky until the end of time. We ought to jump right in and examine the greatness of the universe. Stars are imagined, live, and pass on in amazing ways. Another star has gotten the eye and stress of the two stargazers and ordinary people. This is Betelgeuse, a red supergiant star that hangs out in the heavenly body Orion. It is incredibly tremendous and very old. Its unprecedented reddish tone and changing wonder have for a long while been interesting, yet progressing events have made people much more curious about this huge Goliath. As we get more to know Betelgeuse, we are practically a possibly basic occasion in its set of experiences. Be that as it may, what might these progressions in Betelgeuse at some point mean? Could it be said that we are seeing the start of an endless show on a staggeringly giant scope? Betelgeuse is an eminent monster. It is on different occasions more prominent than our Sun. It is monstrous to the point that it's challenging for individuals to understand. Envision a star that colossal. Besides the fact that this massive size displays how striking the star is regarding its genuine characteristics, yet it additionally mirrors the phase of its life cycle that it is presently in. As a red supergiant, Betelgeuse is currently growing and cooling during this stage, which occurs after it has changed hydrogen into helium in its middle. And the age of the star? In spite of the way that it is accepted to be someplace in the scope of 8 and 8.5 million years of age, by and large youthful concerning human years, however very old with regards to heavenly lives, it has gone through a profound change north of millions of years, advancing from a hot blue star to the red Goliath that we see today. It is presently in its last stage. Red supergiant stars like Betelgeuse go through enormous changes over the direction of their lives because of the consistent tensions of atomic combination and gravity. In addition, the particular ruddy shade of the period of Betelgeuse recognizes it from others. The way that its surface isn't generally so warm as the surfaces of different stars, similar to our Sun, is the wellspring of its red tone. The external layer of the Sun is around 5,500 Kelvin, while the external layer of Betelgeuse is roughly 3,500 Kelvin. In correlation, Betelgeuse can deliver light at frequencies that make it look red. This color isn't simply a look. It enlightens us something concerning the star's real state and the cycles occurring inside its monstrous, vaporous volume. The way that Betelgeuse's tone has vacillated over the long run adds to its persona. Accounts from the Roman and Chinese times say that Betelgeuse was yellow around quite a while back. In the 10th hundred years, Arabic stargazers rushed to take note of that it was red. This change in variety over the direction of humankind's set of experiences is definitely not a trifling subtlety in that frame of mind of science. It likewise shows how the star has developed. One more entrancing thing about Betelgeuse is that its brightness changes over the long run. It is a semi-regular variable star, and that implies that its brilliance goes all over reliably. This dance of splendor has enraptured analysts and skywatchers for a long time. By and large, Betelgeuse goes through a multi-day cycle and a more drawn-out cycle that goes on for a long while. As soon as 1836, Sir John Herschel elucidated these cycles, and local individuals' accounts could return much further. Yet, what really makes Betelgeuse baffling isn't exactly the way that its splendor changes, yet in addition how it acts unpredictably. Not at all like many stars that faint and light up in an anticipated way, Betelgeuse some of the time strays from this example. This recommends that muddled and less comprehended processes are happening inside its gigantic design. As of late, space experts all over the planet were shocked to see Betelgeuse's appearance change decisively and abruptly. This is presently known as the incredible diminishing. In late 2019, the red supergiant Betelgeuse, which is maybe perhaps of the most splendid star in the night sky and a prominent part of the heavenly body Orion, started to diminish in a perplexing way. The star was getting weak so much that it began losing its light at a speed of 0.01 sizes every day. By February 2020, it was at its dimmest. Betelgeuse, which can typically be seen with the unaided eye, even in places with a ton of light contamination, got much fainter, and, surprisingly, relaxed watchers could see the distinction. The time problem, then again, makes it hard to monitor what Betelgeuse is doing on the grounds that light requires some investment to contact us. At the point when we take a gander at a star like Betelgeuse, we don't see it as it is presently, however, as it was previously. For Betelgeuse, the light we see today left the star almost quite a while back. This delay makes it hard to anticipate and screen quick changes in its way of behaving. The Betelgeuse diminishing occasion was an indication of the fact that it is so challenging to notice the sky constantly and how little we are familiar the immense, odd universes of presence. Andrea Dupree, delegate top of the middle for astronomy at Harvard and Smithsonian, and her group firmly observed the occasions of Betelgeuse's heavenly showcase as a feature of a 3-year study to follow changes in its external environment. They used Hubble to check the enormous star out. These perceptions gave another glance at how a variable star like Betelgeuse capabilities. Variable stars routinely get bigger and more modest, which causes changes in how brilliant they show up. Researchers had the option to examine the layers over the star's surface, which were warmed incompletely by the star's whirling convection cells. On account of Hubble's perceptions of bright light, further examination of the Hubble spectra, which were acquired on various dates in 2019 and 2020, uncovered how quick things were moving in the upper climate of Betelgeuse. The spectra were generally contained magnesium-2 lines, which show what the star's environment is like. The examination showed that material was moving from the star's surface into its air at around 200,000 miles per hour. This hot, thick material at last arrives at a huge number of miles from Betelgeuse, denoting the start of the residue cloud that made the star less splendid during the 3 months of the darkening. Dupree and her group saw that as about 2 times as much material true to form from Betelgeuse's southern side of the equator was lost. While all stars lose mass over the long run, Betelgeuse's misfortune was especially observable in light of the fact that it happened at a lot quicker rate than the Sun's. Cosmologists examined whether this occasion could be a forerunner to an enormous blast because of the size of this mass misfortune and how faint the star became. Being roughly 725 light-years from Earth, Betelgeuse adds to the secret on the grounds that any blast like this would be noticeable from Earth and deal individuals a remarkable chance to observe an infinite blast very close. Yet, the inquiry actually stands: how should this darkening influence Betelgeuse's future? Is it a sign that a vast blast is unavoidable, or is it a one-time occasion in the star's long and complex life? A few hypotheses have been proposed to make sense of this fast change. One well-known speculation proposed that it was a stage in the process prompting a vast blast. This thought got forward movement on the grounds that many individuals accept that Betelgeuse is approaching an incredible finish. Another normal hypothesis is that residue, maybe from the actual star, is deterring our view. It is realized that Betelgeuse and other red supergiants lose material. It was speculated that this material could gather into a residue cloud sufficiently thick to impede our perspective on the star's light. A third thought about how changes in the star's photosphere, the noticeable layer on the external part, could fundamentally influence how brilliant it shows up. This secret was tended to utilizing different observational procedures, and inside and out spectroscopic examinations showed that Betelgeuse's powerful temperature decreased. This shows that the star may be diminishing because of an enormous dull locale on its surface. The way that Betelgeuse's temperature diminished by something like 170 Kelvin around the hour of the darkening upheld this thought. This recommended that there were tremendous changes on the star's surface. At last, the Hubble Space Telescope, humankind's guard dog in space, assisted us with sorting out the thing was occurring with this impossible-to-miss occasion. Hubble's perceptions uncovered that the darkening of Betelgeuse was reasonable because of a lot of hot matter being launched out into space. This matter shaped a residue cloud that darkened piece of the star's surface, implying that less light from Betelgeuse contacted us. It was estimated that the residue cloud was made of exceptionally hot plasma that emitted from a huge convection cell on the star's surface and gone through its hot environment to the cooler layers outside, shaping residue grains as it cooled, which made a cloud that darkened light from approximately a fourth of the star's surface. Hubble's pictures showed that after this ejection, an enormous, thick, hot residue cloud had shaped. Albeit this residue cloud could have darkened the star for a period, it isn't supposed to endure forever. Researchers accept that Betelgeuse could before long recapture its previous splendor. Be that as it may, the secret encompassing its variable way of behaving probably won't be totally settled. Numerous researchers guess that Betelgeuse will one day go cosmic explosion. There is proof proposing that Betelgeuse is running out of fuel. While there are still vulnerabilities, the logical agreement is that it will ultimately explode in a fantastic blast. As we keep on observing this remarkable star, its future remaining parts a subject of interest and examination. The elements of Betelgeuse enhance how we might interpret heavenly development, as well as help us to remember the huge and complex universe where we dwell. The chance of seeing its change, an enormous occasion of fantastic scope, stays an interesting possibility for space experts and devotees the same. Whether it's the slow changes or the potential for an unstable end, Betelgeuse is a star that will proceed to dazzle and rouse interest in the universe.